All right, let's get right into it. If you're in a small startup, you know that every single dollar, and frankly, every single minute counts for everything. Choosing your observability stack is a massive decision, and today we are breaking down one of the most common face-offs out there, the open-source beast Grafana versus the all-in-one SaaS platform NewRelic.
So, picture this. You've got a small, scrappy team, maybe 10 people. You're building everything on AWS. And when things go sideways, and trust me, they always go sideways, you've got to find out why, like yesterday. But you don't have a giant enterprise budget to throw at the problem. So what's the move?
And this right here, this is the whole game. It really boils down to two completely different philosophies. On one hand, you've got Grafana's open source stack. It'll save you a ton of money on licensing, but it's going to cost you in engineering time and effort. On the other hand, NewRelic saves you all that effort, but it's going to cost you money. To figure out which one is right for you, we've got to look at three key tensions between them.
First up, let's talk about a tension that hits small, super collaborative teams the hardest. Who on your team actually gets to use the tool to its full potential?
It all comes down to this one single number.
1. That's it. That's how many full platform users you get on NewRelic's otherwise very generous free tier. Now, this is the only person who can do the real deep dive debugging, trace those super complex issues, the fun stuff. Everyone else on your team, they're just basic users, which means they're mostly stuck just looking at dashboards.
Just think about what this actually means day to day. With NewRelic, your 10-person team has a debugging bottleneck of 1. When a critical bug pops up, you literally have a crowd forming around a single engineer's screen. But with a self-hosted Grafana setup, there are no user limits. All 10 of your engineers can jump right in and troubleshoot at the exact same time. It's a game changer for a small team.
And that user limit? Well, that leads us right into our second big tension. The hidden costs that you're not going to see on the main pricing page.
Now, on the surface, NewRelic's offer looks incredible. 100 gigabytes of data for free every single month? That's a fantastic starting point for any small app. It really sounds like you can get started for zero cost. But there's a catch.
And here's the catch. For pretty much any team running on a major cloud provider, all your application logs, your metrics, your traces, they're all being generated inside your AWS environment. To get them over to NewRelic's platform, you have to ship them out over the public internet. And yep, the cloud providers charge you for that. This is called a data egress fee. You can think of it like a toll you have to pay just to move your own data out of the cloud provider's network. And while the first 100 gigs or so of egress from AWS is often free, as your app grows, that cost can become a pretty significant and frankly surprising line item on your monthly bill. So when you lay it all out like this, the difference is just crystal clear. With the self-hosted Grafana, sure, you pay for the AWS servers to run it, but your data never ever leaves your private cloud, so those egress fees are zero, a big fat zero. With NewRelic, even on that free tier, you're still paying AWS to send them your data. That's a potential surprise bill that just grows right alongside your application.
Okay, this brings us to our final tension. And honestly, for a startup that's trying to move at lightning speed, this might be the most important one of all. It's the classic trade-off between getting value right now versus building something for the long term.
Look, let's be real. Setting up the full Grafana observability stack, people often call it the LGTM stack, for Loki, Grafana, Tempo, and Mir, it is a serious engineering project. You've got to provision servers, you have to install and configure each of those components for logs, metrics, and traces, and then you have to build all your own dashboards and alerts from scratch. It's incredibly powerful for sure, but it is not a one-click install.
And then you've got NewRelic, and the experience here, it feels like pure magic. You install their little agent into your application, and literally within minutes, you have pre-built dashboards, you have amazing application performance monitoring, you have actionable insights. It just works. The time it takes to see real value is unbelievably fast.
So we've got these three big tensions, right? Team access, hidden costs, and speed versus effort. So how on earth does a 10-person startup make the right call? Well, let's build a little playbook. This decision matrix kind of clarifies things perfectly. If your absolute number one, top priority is the lowest possible long-term cost, giving your full team access and paying zero egress fees, Grafana is your clear winner, no question. But if you prioritize speed, getting set up today, and minimizing the operational headache for your team, NewRelic definitely takes the lead.
So what does all this mean for our startup? They need to find bugs right now, but they also can't afford a massive bill or a debugging bottleneck 6 months down the road. They need a strategy that understands both of those realities.
Here's the thing. This isn't an all-or-nothing choice. The really smart path here is a phased approach that gives you the best of both worlds. Start with a New Relic free tier. Get that immediate visibility, squash your most critical bugs today. But in parallel, start planning your self-hosted Grafana stack. The very moment that one-user limit starts to feel like a real bottleneck, you'll be ready to execute your plan and make the switch without missing a beat.
At the end of the day, this decision is really a proxy for a much bigger, more fundamental question every single startup has to answer. Right now, at this very moment, what is your most constrained resource? Is it your engineering time, or is it your cash in the bank? Answering that question will tell you everything you need to know. It'll tell you whether to pay with effort for Grafana or to pay with money for New Relic's incredible convenience.